Yes. Well, it's a good start, isn't it? Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, if you heard Diana's talk just now, she called the ecosystem the heart of a Linnworks product. So we have the head, the hands, and the heart. So I feel a lot more pressure now, but she's called it the heart, the beating heart of Linnworks. So I'm hoping what I can talk to you today about will actually help you expand, help you control, set a foundation really for your e-commerce strategy, etc. as well. So myself, I was much younger when that photo was taken, so sorry, I just haven't had a photo taken since. But my name's Chris Ralph. I've been a partner team at Linnworks for almost 5 years now. In that time, I've done a lot of work with our customization partners, our service partners, our integration partners, etc. as well. So I've got a really strong hand of the App Store, the individuals within it, etc. as well. I won't be going through a list of everyone within it because this will be a very long and very dull session. But I'm hoping what I'll touch on is how you can grow and use the partners within it, etc. as well. So a little bit of a touch on agenda. I'm not going to read it out to you, but there's 3 key things I want you to take away from this session. I want you to be able to identify where the App Store is, what's in the App Store, if you need a partner, where to find that partner, etc. as well, how to integrate. We're really working hard, and Diana says just then, we are still working hard on making it a really easy user experience, not just for the developer, but for the user as well, to build those integrations. And then next is grow. Maybe when we do this talk next week, you won't be coming from Manchester, you'll be flying from your yacht in the Caribbean, hopefully as well. So the Linnworks ecosystem. So when I originally wrote this slide deck, I was thinking, you're going to hate the word ecosystem after this session, but you probably hate it now because it's something we've been speaking about the last 2 days, and I'm going to be talking about it much. And you think about that word ecosystem, and you go back to sort of GCSE geography. The bacteria comes up, and the plankton eats the bacteria, and then the fish, and then the salmon, and it all goes back. I got a B in biology, if anyone was wondering, as well. But it's hugely important to Linnworks now and helping our customers grow. As I said, this isn't a magic wand of, we're going to tell you right here on this conversation what fits your systems, etc. as well, what's going to be best for you. But what I do want you to do is potentially reach out. If anyone in the partner team's here, can you put your hand up? If you want to go in more depth about how it works for you, because you may be in refurb technology or you may be looking at furniture, etc. as well, please reach out to our partner team, have a one-on-one session, and they'll tell you everything that's in our ecosystem that is relevant to you and how you're helping you grow. So, as I said, ecosystem has really, really come to the forefront of Linnworks at the moment, and the last 12 months shows alone what we've added. So we've got ranging integrations from OpenAI, marketplaces, channel integrators, aggregators, etc. as well. And this is just 12 months. This is just 12 months of Linnworks working, what we've done. And you've got a lot of people here today. You've got Shippo. I'm not going to read through all of those there, because I also can't turn my neck that way. But a lot of these partners here, and Shippo, great example, but we actually did that late on Monday night. We got that at public, ready for this weekend. If you want, please go have a chat with them. So what is the Linnworks App Store? So the Linnworks App Store is designed to enhance and really extend the functionality of the Linnworks platform. Linnworks bread and butter is an inventory management system. When you're onboarded with Linnworks, you're really creating that foundation of your e-commerce environment. And everything's going through. And the App Store is a great way to then actually start to grow, to extend that functionality. I like to think of it as a sort of centralized hub or almost marketplace of our partners here, where customers can go find and expand and be ambitious. One thing here, when you're looking at the App Store and what's in there, don't be afraid to test it. If you have questions or reservations, reach out to us, reach out to the partners who will explain what it does and how it does. But if you're going to be timid about downloading new applications or looking at new markets, then, it's not great. I mean, sorry, lost a bit of trail of thought there. So what's great about the App Store as well is it's not just Linnworks built applications. Although we have a lot of Linnworks built applications, we have a lot of third parties contributing there. And this really helps us extend our product range of what in there. So just to give you a few numbers of what the App Store in Linnworks looks right now, there's around 200 plus applications that are public within the App Store. Privately, I think it's more around 14,500 applications that are used by customers, and I will touch on private apps, sorry, in a moment. So we've got around 200 applications there. There's, sorry, what was that? 10,000 downloads we've had, and 2,500 visitors. Our customers are visiting the App Store. 2,500 are visiting it every month to have a look what's in there and what's new. So I've been talking a bit right now. So if you've got your app on you, if you go into this session, you'll be able to answer a poll here. And what I want to know is how many apps do you know and are aware of that you use within Linnworks? I'm not going to stand here in silence for a moment because I might find it a bit too awkward, but if you can give it, it'll be really interesting to know, because I had this same conversation with a few customers yesterday. One of them didn't know where the App Store was. And most of them said they have fewer than 5 apps, which I find really interesting. So as you've entered that poll, etc., as well, I'll tell you what the average is. So on average, our Linnworks customers have 18.5 apps and connections within their environment. So that means every customer is really dependent on this ecosystem to manage the e-commerce, whether it be connecting to eBay, shipping through Shippo, ShipStation, or even just extending that functionality. And you've got to think about that, how connections and the benefits of the App Store and how those connections work. So I'm going to use an example of one of the really old examples, well, really old is quite harsh to say, a great example of how ecosystem works in the industry. Quick hands if you've ever had an Alexa. Yeah, exactly. So when you have an Alexa, you want to listen to music, and what do you ask Alexa? You say, hey Alexa, can you play, I don't know, who's popular now? Sabrina Carpenter on Spotify. And that's the connection, because when they created the Alexa, Amazon Music didn't exist. Amazon had no streaming platform for them to use music. But what did everyone have? They had Spotify. So when what Amazon did and Spotify did is they created a connection through their own ecosystem so that people were able to listen to music on the Alexa and the music that they wanted, etc. as well. Another one, if you work with Salesforce a lot, is DocuSign. I might be a bit more irrelevant to some people here, but DocuSign and Salesforce is another great example of ecosystem partnerships working. So the ability to connect and integrate really is a bit of a silver bullet for Linnworks. It's what our customers find most valuable. And conversations, even yesterday, someone was saying, I had no idea this functionality exists. I've been using for Linnworks for 8 years, and coming to Linn Academy has changed how I'm going to use Linnworks. I don't know where Vic is. He's from Hawkins, etc. as well. So the ecosystem, what it's really doing is connecting a bridge, is eliminating those challenges. I know everyone here who has their own business, etc. as well, will have multiple softwares that they're using. And if you think you're using a lot of softwares and different technologies, trust me, Linnworks is using more. And what this does is we try to avoid that challenge by having it integrated within the Linnworks App Store. So we try to avoid the need of you having to jump in between platforms. So that's why we have the ability to build embedded applications. Sometimes automation can be I'm going to touch quite a bit on automation shortly. Automation can be hard to come by. So having that embedded and integrated within your own Linnworks and scheduling that automation for when you would like it, pulling reports, etc. as well, is a massive win for our customers and our developers and our shippers, etc. as well. Now, the big one here, as I've already touched on, is ecosystem awareness. After that conversation with Vic yesterday, talking about he didn't even know some functionality had existed, he hadn't seen that it was new, is how do we make you, the merchants, aware of the new things we're adding to the ecosystem, adding that new functionality, etc. as well. As I said, not everything will be relevant for you, so I'm not going to list everything which might be relevant. But what we need to make sure is that those individuals who are working with specific sectors are notified, but notified effectively. We don't want to just throw loads of emails out, etc. as well. We want to make sure that we are effectively communicating that these changes are happening and you're building and upgrading. And as I said, please speak to one of our partner team members if you want to set up a call, and we'll go through everything that you need within your ecosystem. So the benefits of the App Store. I've said it before, the App Store is its own marketplace, really. It's its own centralized hub full of integration and automation tools, etc. as well. And as I said, it's designed to be a seamless to use application. There are 200 applications at the moment that are public, ranging from shipping to channels, etc. as well. But we are building that ever more, and we're making sure that those apps are working. You've got the information you need, you can trust it. It's meant to be a place where you can go in, I trust everything that is in here. I know that the product team have had a review, I know the partners in there are trusted, and what they built I can trust. So you can literally go in, and you can start to change, start to try things as well. And automation is an important one, because I think automation is one of these things that are understated within the App Store. A lot of merchants, users, etc. as well think, oh, the App Store is where I go to add channels. It's where I go to add a shipping aggregator or find a new marketplace, etc. as well. The biggest quick win for merchants and customers within our App Store is the ability to automate. And these can just be simple macros that are built. Just to name drop a few, we've got Warehouse Plus and ePick List, which are just a way for users to perform tasks such as scanning barcodes, managing their pick lists, etc. as well, updating order status directly from a mobile device. And to those of you who have warehousing and stuff like that, it's a massive time saver for those going around pick, pack, and dispatching. Cool. And of course, once you've got that foundation set, then it's time to grow. We've had Temu here, we've had eBay, we've had Walmart, all people who can help you grow. And you've got to be willing to try and experiment. Does anyone recognize this? Yeah, okay. The Director of Development. That's good. So I'm going to touch on a bit later about how customers can build their own applications, etc. as well, and what's custom to their needs and stuff like that. But as crude as this diagram is, I think it's incredibly useful from a glance to just say what's possible to be built. If I'm a customer or if I'm a partner and I want to start building something, this diagram here really cleanly explains how I can actually add to the Linnworks ecosystem, how I can contribute. I'm not going to go through every one-on-one, but of course, coming down to system integrations, and macros, etc. as well. This is where automation reporting really happens, and they can be incredibly simple. My favorite macro is the one that is the most simple, and it's the low stock notification macro. My stock's low, I want an email. And that's all you can do. That's all it does. And it's one of our most used ones, but it doesn't have to be something big and complex and scary. It can be something simple as that. And of course, going up to the native applications, etc. as well, custom user interfaces. We have a customer who built a custom button within their Linnworks, which then pushed through to a screen within the warehouse. That screen then told them what's being shipped out today, to which carrier, and the timeline of when the van is arriving, so that they can automate their warehouse, saying this order's come through, this package needs to be prioritized because the Royal Mail van is coming within 2 hours, and stuff like that, all through a custom UI button. Sorry, it's quite hard turning. Channel integrations, fairly self-explanatory here. Of course, eBay, Amazon, Temu, please go chat to them. But we have a much wider range as well. Questions yesterday, a lot of them had at the commerce booth yesterday. It was like, I'm looking to expand onto more channels, but I can't find much. Please look into our aggregators. So I showed a quick preview of what Miracle had to offer. And Miracle has 400 plus marketplaces. And we can't just have them listed in a big long line when you click on the app. Again, ask the partner team if you're looking for something specific, if you're in refurb tech, if you're missing out on anything, we'll find them, etc. as well. But you can build your own channel integrations. Maybe you want specific functionality. I only want orders and products. I don't want listings and stuff like that. You can build your own, etc. as well. And then finally, I don't think I need to talk too much about what shipping integrations do. But label generation is a great, useful tool for us. But do feel free to play around, build your own shipping integrations, etc. as well. And for returns, before anyone asks, we use a lot of third parties. We had Loop here yesterday. We've got Zigzag outside, who are great for returns, etc. as well. What slide is this? Getting most from what is unique. So as I've said, it's a centralized, trusted location. For those of you who've used the App Store on your iPhone, it's very much like that. Lots of individual things coming in. And as I said, the best thing about Linnworks Central and the way it's been able to grow is our third-party developers. We've got a lot of them today. We've got Brainense here, Paternica, Rishvi, Pivotal, who can all help you build your integrations. If not, I'm going to touch on the services portal in a moment. But if you want your own thing, or if there's something there not for you, please speak to the partners out on the floor, and they'll run you through everything you need. And because these partners here who develop, they go through quite a rigorous certification process, so you know you can trust what they're inputting. So I was going to do a little bit of show and tell, but just to make sure, because yesterday someone said, I have no idea where the App Store is. It's the jigsaw puzzle on the homepage, the App Store. So how to utilize the wider ecosystem. So I touched very, very briefly on private applications. And as I said, last report I ran last week, there was 14,500 private applications within the Linnworks system. And these can range to everything. But the reason we have private applications, so every Linnworks user gets a developer account. And not a lot of people know this. You already have access to developer portal, and the customers have their own, merchants have their own development teams, or they may have their own third parties, but they don't want it to be public on the App Store. It may be just perfect for them just to use on their own, etc. as well, and go from there. It doesn't need to be public. Or maybe there is something public on the App Store, but it doesn't quite fit your needs, so you need to make your own version, etc. as well. Now, what you can do is you get given a unique URL token. You click that link. It will come into your system, and you will see that when you're underneath your applications, you will see that custom app you've built, and you will be able to use that, make changes, etc. As well. And you can be quite playful with it. A customer who's not here today, a merchant who is, they do hydration packages and bottles and sportswear for triathletes, etc. as well. And when there's sort of big events on around certain areas and people are getting packages delivered, they built a private macro which allowed them to create personal notes on their shipping labels. So when the individual who's doing the triathlon receives it, say, good luck on the London Triathlon. So it's not has to be automation, but customer success and customer focused stuff, etc. as well, focused on that. So third-party assistant, I've mentioned the third parties outside and here today, etc. as well. But a huge thing here, if you can scan that QR code from there, I don't know if you will be, is the services portal. Now, the services portal was launched Q4 last year, and we've seen a massive interest in our partners from our merchants on these third parties. Now, these unlike the developers and stuff, etc. as well within the App Store, they offer more services than just building and development. These services can be data optimization. If you need some training, they'll come on site and see you. If you need an audit, if you want a Shopify website built, etc. as well, they can help with that. Because as much as Linnworks wants to be the center of your e-commerce, we want to be really good at what we do and not okay at everything. So we trust these partners who are all certified. It takes about 6 months for these partners to pass these certifications to get into this portal. We are really, really strict on who is in there. But these partners here can really help your e-commerce go to the next level. One great sorry, I probably shouldn't say this at the slide, but I Love Fancy Dress, who were here yesterday. I don't know those of you who met George, very, very fun individual, brought fancy dress to the party last night. We released Shein in December last year, the Shein integration. In March last year, they gave us a statement saying that Shein now represents 20% of their business. In 3 months, they've made that much growth within Shein within 3 months that it now represents 20%. So please do experiment and talk with these marketplaces and partners, etc. as well. But yes, also please do look at the services portal. So I would love to give you a quick demonstration and run through. But essentially what you can do is you can find your list. You can click your service you need, whether it be growth service. That will tell you the partners that can deliver it. Select the listing, and you can communicate directly with that partner there. You can upload files, spreadsheets, etc., data, and then you can start to build an understanding. And of course, what we're all thinking about, how much will this cost as well. You can start to get that there. You can even make payments. But if you want, our partners are more than happy to even have a face-to-face visit or a quick call through a Google Teams, etc. as well. So the future. Although a lot of the App Store is partner-driven and our own development-driven, it's all driven off our merchants' ideas. It's really important to let us know what you want. There's an individual here who was asking me about Not on the High Street. And Not on the High Street is one of the ones that would be great to have, but there's a few API issues and we are working on it. But because we know that, we can now list that. We can sort of say, okay, this is where the customers are moving to. We should look to either speaking to a third party about building it or something like that. So we have an ideas portal. You should all be able to access it from Linnworks. And please input your ideas, whether it be product improvements, some automation improvements, or even new channels that you're looking for. And once we see that, and you can even vote, downvote, and stuff. And so the more votes we get, the more likely we are going to push that forward and get that developed, etc. as well. And of course, then the big thing here is we've talked about control, we've talked about laying your foundation, but we're all really here to actually improve our business. No one here really wants to sit here and just have the same sales as next year. The idea is to grow. And Linnworks is actively broadening its integration portfolio. Like I've already mentioned, Temu, Shein, AliExpress. We've got 2 or 3 more, hopefully, that are going to be published next week. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself because it is always the testing phase, and that can always take a bit longer than expected. So we are trying to diversify our sales channels and enable you to reach new customer bases. If I join a new German marketplace, for example, what shipper do I need to use? Because the Royal Mail won't go there. So we've got Deutsche Post, etc. as well, and shippers that will help you get there. And our partner team are more than happy to take the time to go through that with you. So when we're talking about how do we make our customers successful, real big thing we're looking at is ecosystem-led growth. How do we lead you through our ecosystem? How do we find the right partners for you, etc., for you to grow and increase your sales? So just to let you know, so this is all last month's new apps. I'm sorry, Shippo, you were sort of a day late before I made this slide. I don't think Shippo are here, so we're okay. But these are a few new apps that are great. Product Assembly, which is built by our own development team. This is a really exciting app, and I imagine a lot of people don't know of it, but this is a new built by Linnworks. It's designed to help you manage your stock levels for products and materials used in the assembly process. So it ensures you can create an accurate inventory updates, automatically adjusting the stock depending on the materials you use. It's really hard to summarize that into 2 words, so we went with product assembly. But please do have a look at the description, etc. as well, because for those using several components, it is a great application. AliExpress, I don't think I need to go into that. This at the moment is only US. We are talking with them about bringing it over to the Europe at the moment as well. Iomnic is a channel aggregator who, if there's nothing you need, if there's no channels, a specific channel you need, they have a lot of channels that we don't have at the moment. They're built, I think one, for example, is Active Ants. So if you want to integrate directly to Active Ants, etc. as well, Iomnic by Wise Robot is a great way to connect quickly and to explore new things. They also do ERPs. And last but not least, Our Excel, built by another partner, SmartCode, who I'm not sure are here today. 2-man shipping company in the UK. I think it is actually the longest standing shipping company. This one, again, came from customer need. We had a lot of ideas in the idea portal asking us when we're going to make an Arrow Excel integration. We spoke to a partner who was happy to build it. Built it. It's now in the app stores for use. I think it's about £30 a month to use. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry that went a much quicker than I thought it would, but I know I am between you and lunch. Oh, no. Yeah, so you've got some time now. I'm not blocking you from lunch, etc. as well. Do you have any questions? Awesome. Thank you all, guys, and thank you for coming.